Hey, my name is Don Hanshew, and I have the joy, the privilege, and the honor of being on July 1st, your lead pastor. And to be honest with you, I'm really looking at as it being a team between myself and this wonderful guy.
And I'm Chase Krickenberger. Most of you don't know me, and I'm so excited to be joining you all. I've met some of you already over Zoom, and I'm looking forward to meeting y'all in person.
So why are we doing this video? Thank you for giving us your time. This is why. We cut straight to the point of why we're doing it. And that's we're having a big ask, really, of you. And we want to do something that we feel like is missionally important. And this is a shift, an adaptation of what we do on Sunday morning. We'd like to have an 8:30 worship service, a 9:45 Sunday school, but then adapt the time for the journey to be 9:45, continue with 11 o'clock traditional, and then add an 11 o'clock small group experience. Why do we want to do that? Missionally, we feel like this is an important and significant step moving us forward in church unity. Because of outside pressures and internal pressures, we feel like there's just a little bit of disunity. We feel like this would be really helpful. How? Well, we would be preaching in all three worship services. You'd have the same consistent message in all three services. And you know how this works. Whatever service you go to is usually the pastor that you have the most affinity for. Chase and I want to both be your pastors together across all three services. So doing this allows us to be present in all those ways and for you to get to know us as we preach in all three services. But there's other reasons too, more other missional objectives, and Chase is going to help us understand those.
Yeah, Don, another great opportunity that this presents to us is that by going to three services, both Don and I, but also the lay people, are going to have a great opportunity to get involved in helping us create a new discipleship program where we start some small groups together at 11 a.m. on Sunday mornings. And here's what that does and why it's so great, is it allows a lot of people, both people who are familiar to our church, but especially people who are new to our community, to come into an environment that's not intimidating and allows them to find their comfort level, allows them to ask questions and engage with these biblical themes that we want to teach them in a way that makes them feel like they can be a part of this community before they take that next step towards discipleship. And the other thing is that this middle worship time of 9:45 presents itself as an opportunity to grab a demographic that's new in this post-COVID reality. And that's that PJ Church demographic, who are those of you, myself included at times, who have been going to church on Sunday mornings via the internet, in your pajamas, getting comfortable whenever you wake up, and then going out and spending the rest of your day doing things that are also very, very important in your lives. And so for those who 8:30 is too early or 11 o'clock is too late and will take up too much of their day, this 9:45 slot will allow them to feel more comfort in being able to do things later in the day and in the afternoon. They can spend their afternoon with friends and family or drop their kids off at soccer practices. It gives them more opportunity to be committed in our community outside of this church, which makes Fountain City more visible to our community. But there's also a time effectiveness piece. And that time effectiveness piece is that I know that we only preach for 15 minutes most Sundays, but there's a lot more work that goes into a sermon than 15 minutes. You know, it can take 15 to 20 hours for us to produce sermons. And 15 to 20 hours is a lot of time out of the work week. And if we're both having to write sermons every week, that's an additional 20 hours that we could spend doing hard mission work. So by having one of us preach every Sunday in all three services, we actually free up 20 hours of extra work time to focus on the mission and ministry of this church. And here's the last piece that I'll leave you with before Don closes us out. And that's that this will allow our music ministry to be available in all three services. That means our contemporary service artists can contribute to our traditional worship, and our traditional musicians can contribute to contemporary worship, and our 8:45 music service can contribute to our contemporary service and our 11 o'clock. And I think that that's going to be an opportunity that really pays off in the long run. Don, we're wanting to do this pretty quickly. Why is that? Can you explain to them why we're rolling this out so fast?
No, it is kind of urgent in our minds, and for a couple of reasons. One is that as we think about being in a post-COVID world, it's real easy to try to go back to normal and we'll get stuck again. And the question I want to ask, was normal good enough? Was the church growing before COVID? why do we want to rush to go back to the way it was? We feel like the decisions that we're laying out here are missionally and gospel focused to help us reach new people and grow the church and expand the footprint of ministry that we do in this community. The other thing is that July 4th is usually a low attendance Sunday. It's our first Sunday, and we want to be the pastor to the whole church, the pastors as a team that way, and we feel like this allows us access to do that. But because it's a low attendance Sunday, it allows us to experiment and kind of work some of the kinks out that might happen on that first day. But additionally, making this shift now embraces the reality that when you have a pastoral transition, that in your local community and neighborhood, you have a short season where people are like, oh, something's going on at that church. I might check it out. People who normally don't come to your church. So we want to be able to make sure that there's consistent messaging, consistent presence for us to be able to, either one of us, connect with folks who come to worship here at Fountain City. And we're really excited about that opportunity. So we're asking for an experiment of 90 to 120 days. And if it works, great, we want to continue it. If not, then we'll change that again. But we need to be honest with all of ourselves, is that often what we do on Sunday morning is more about habit and something that we've done, the familiar, as opposed to having a gospel imperative of reaching new people and growing the faithful. So we're asking you to consider this as an opportunity this way, as administrative council or as an executive team or Sunday school class or whoever it is that'll be watching this. But you're also probably asking, where are we? Where is this? And if you haven't figured it out yet, we are in the basement of the church, the mechanical room. This is literally the foundation from which so many other things, electricity, water, flow. And we feel like this is a great symbolic place for us to be. We feel like worship is the place from which everything else flows and grows and is built upon as a church. So we want you to think about how this can help us have a better, stronger, a more fruitful foundation as we begin ministry together. Thank you for your time and your attention. We're looking forward to being in ministry with you. God bless.
God bless.